Hello, Northstar here. Welcome to another episode of Citizen Sleeper Let's Play. Now, it's been a bit with this game. Some of the real flaws with the game design have started to show. Also, why the hell can't I get rid of this? I don't give a shit about announcements about their other games. I hate when games do this and don't even let you close it. It's so exploitative and cheap at saying that they put their profits ahead of your experiences. I don't want to see this. I'm not buying their game. There's a reason for that. One of them being that this game railroads you, and it's starting to piss me off. There's not enough flexibility in your choices. Your dialogue options don't really matter most of the time, and they didn't even vary enough to put the color in things you want. Game is almost like a visual novel. I've seen reviews complain about it. I'm starting to understand why people say this about this game. It's cute at times, yes, but like with the Lem and Mina, I have very few doubts here that when I choose not to sneak on board if I choose not to sneak on board this the Celis ship, even though I never experienced whatever content from sneaking on board, I could do it easily enough. If I choose not to, Lem, will get, if they find out, we'll probably be pissed after they're betrayed, and you wouldn't even get an option to explain. I wasn't gonna do it because I don't trust these assholes who are building a ship in secret on the edge of settled space. That's where everyone's eye is here. Building it here because they can keep it secret, and then they just screwed over all the shipyard workers with that rated lottery. If you don't remember the last episode or a couple episodes ago, they had they promised people worked on building the ship a lottery to become part of the crew and be able to go to a new colony. And then nobody in the shipyard hardly was actually entered into the lottery except a few people who were long-time Havenage employees. And Havenage, if you don't know anything about them or remember, are a corrupt corporation that runs Erlin's Eye. They were born out of a revolutionary fervor and an attempt to create what sounds almost like a somewhat socialistic state here, but with the old guard who used to run the station when it was controlled by the same corporation that made the sleepers, which are techno slaves. People have been uploading to robot bodies and they not treated as human beings, even though they have the mind of a human being. And so it's legalized slavery, but same corporation that did that and probably lobbied government back on Earth or wherever to even make this legal and keep it legal and hides abuses, which, if you remember, I don't think he's here, but anymore. Where is it? Bliss, Hardine, Sabine. Yes, Sabine. She, he, they, actually. They, Sabine, because I think Sabine's supposed to be transgender. Or gender indeterminate, I don't know. Sabine used to work for that corporation and became basically a whistleblower on the abuses of the sleeper program, and then fled for their life out here to Erlin's Eye, and then they ended up under the thumb of Yadigan. One of the Yadigan chiefs was actually had a neural implant that was allowing that corporation to control them and keep an eye on Sabine and others. Havenage has one of the people used to run Erlin's Eye under that under like whatever big corporation that partially dissolved, that one of the highest ups, and there was this whole plot line I still haven't dealt with fully with Conway Corporation that involves them, and they're corrupt as hell. They were in on this shipyard thing, and I don't trust a colony ship that's secretly going to the edge of space, funded by unknown wealthy, mind you, wealthy donors are funding this thing, which makes me think that maybe they have something sinister up their sleeves. Maybe they're going to create some libertarian neo-feudal dystopia on the edge of the galaxy where people are even more clearly reduced to slavery. Humans, not just sleepers. And yeah, whatever crew who are not the people who are meant, and I suspect the crew will die in transit. I don't think they get to be in the stasis pods themselves. What I'm saying is I expect that if Lem and Mina get on this colony ship, they'll be betrayed. If I don't help on the colony ship, though, they'll feel betrayed, and I won't get an option to explain my reasons. I do not trust this corporation. Celis Foundation is probably evil, and I'm not going to go on the ship, probably dying due to lack of stabilizer, and condemn Lem and Mina to a bad fate. Which means, if I'm not escaping on the Sidereal, there's the flotilla aid and the whole Conway plotline. I don't know if I should wait till the ship leaves. Let's see, it doesn't have the counter here, but I know they leave eventually. Where is it? The Sidereal, yeah, here. This set shows cycles. It's 7 cycles they leave. I don't know if there'll probably be an event if I just let them leave with Lem and Mina. I'm not sure if I should wait till that before doing the Conway. Can't know everything. There doesn't seem to be any kind of timer on that. But I think I'd just like to deal with the Conway Corporation here. And the second, shoot, I need to do one more fungal harvest. Save up a little stabilizer. If things go south with Conway, maybe I'll have to skip on this Sidereal. So, there's the whole flotilla aid with the climbing briar, which is something that was tacked on the game as late game content after everything else, as far as I can tell. Start with the Conway plotline. Where is it? There's the Conway access node. When I slot the first ripworm here, it says you need to give it ready to give this all your attention. I'd be surprised if it's easier than it seems, but there's a whole thing going on there. So, one more day. Spying, yeah, Havenage and Yadigan. Never find out what the actual data achieved is. But I'm not exactly happy with Havenage after what they did, and I'll quietly sell Yadigan data on them. You know, Yadigan at least didn't willingly work with that corporation. One of their higher-ups was secretly. I suppose the old guard Havenage guy, not everyone Havenage is evil, but there's people like him, and he has a whole network that got exposed with Conway. And they already fricked over Fang. Fired him when he caught on to the guy and tried to expose how evil he was. So, let's buy some shipline fragments here. These are always useful. It's essentially free money, and salvage sorting me in 4 days, whatever. Guess I'll sell a little data on Yadigan, just because I don't have any use for this much. Try and maintain some kind of balance of power, since both factions seem to be not great. Neither Havenage or Yadigan can fully be trusted here. But of the two, the worst is probably Havenage, because they are willingly cooperating with off-station corporations to screw over everyone on the station and maintain kind of enforced poverty, lack of freedom, near slavery, really. People on the station are struggling to survive. That's almost certainly probably because the higher-ups who design things in the station back when it was a mining station to exploit the workers heavily and keep them in debt. Still being in the top ranks of everything here. If you guys don't remember, there was this whole thing, some exposition about how this used to be a mining station, and as the mines started drying up, they just more and more deeply indebted the miners. There's also references to Deep Space Nine there. Deep Space Nine was a space station with a kind of ring-like habitation section, though it was a lot different than just a giant ring. Star Trek, one of the Star Treks was Deep Space Nine, was very good in my opinion, the best because it actually engaged with political stuff in a more realistic way. The others, which were avoided tackling certain kinds of issues, although they were even so, they were still ahead of their time, and they were more on the nose than some people like. But Deep Space Nine was even more engaged with these issues. Anyways, it used to be a mining station that was liberated from the Cardassians, if I remember correctly. And there's a whole storyline with that. Okay. Cryo was more than enough to pay, where is he? What? Oh, that's Castor's table. Emphis to cook up some fungus and get a lot more energy than if I cooked up Matsutake myself. I know, he's a friend. Bring him some business. Let him put his skills as cook to use. Yeah, I haven't visited it's been a little while since I played this game. I'm trying to remember what there is to do with Bliss Bay. Oh, just more component jobs. This is 20 cryo if you do well. The chance of scrap. Scrap's particularly useful. I'll pour one into that. I just noticed it only ever refers to Marites with those component jobs, which means even after Bliss leaves, it still makes sense. I have +1 endure, and salvaging scrap is an endure task. I'm going to do that because scrap is the one thing besides stabilizer that I even remotely have any chance of running out of. Where's the waste? Oh, they're here. I want to store up some scrap. Stabilizer. If I were to flee in the ship, that would give my character realistic a better chance of surviving. Well, I'll have to find some alternative to stabilizer, maybe to put himself in a cryo sleep until he arrives on a planet, or he might find a alternate way to get it. Can't do anything to speed up these mushrooms growing, just so I get more stabilizer, so. 3 bloody days I have to use this stabilizer. I want to be fully repaired up for. Alright, tomorrow's just gonna be a mushroom harvest and then the convoy, so I'll just end this cycle and go into flickering. Alright. Aviary. I like the music in this game at least. There are parts of the game that seriously bother me. Music is not one of them. I'll forge. spores, nothing. I'm not gonna. This one has a 50% positive chance. I'd really like to put a 5 or 6. Alright, well, how many harvests are there again? 3. Doubt I can get all high, so I'll put 1 4 in. Got some club hits, which is where we want. Reroll. There we go, a 6. Club heads are extremely important. The only reason I bought these mushrooms, really. Just got Matsutakes this time. Do a 3 because it's better than waiting for a day. And this just gave me Girl caps, I think, and I think I got some Matsutake out of it. You have to exit and re-enter to replant the fungal beds. The old growth aviaries create a rich medium into which you can plant spores that grow well here. Extract the spores from sample print and mix the water, then inject them into prepared mulch. It's precise work. Let's see what he's doing. Didn't understand it before. He's sample print surreal. He's got like some tape, some biodegradable tape he's using to collect spores. And he probably removes them, scrapes them off or something. Mixes the water to activate them, because water activates a lot of enzymatic processes. And then he plants them as well to germinate. That actually does make some sense. I have a background in biology in real life, and I didn't do fungus work. Just more in a little about this. I mean, other than yeast, which are technically fungus, and anyone who does bio will end up working with yeast at some point. Alright. Emphys. Your mouth stings. Ace sensorium sends warning signals over and over. This is the good stuff. Food. Emphys is a good cook. Oh yeah, probably have no use for these Matsutake. Solid. I need 3 ship mine cores. I'll sell a ship mine too. Don't need any. Club heads are building towards stabilizer, unfortunately. I only got 1. I think I need 2. A stabilizer. Yep. The girl caps can be used as food, and that's about all they're good for. Grove spores, obviously, to replant the grove. Alright, so stabilizer, because I want to be full up when I start the conway. You feel the stabilizer fizzing inside you. Your artificial muscles cramping in sequence. And end cycle. Now, I don't even know if this cryo would actually be any use off station. It's probably not the currency anywhere else. Cryptocurrency stored in Airwall 6 memory, known as chits. Although, with the salvagers accept it, but that might just be so they can resupply and stuff at the station here. If I were thinking of fleeing on the Sidereal Horizon, if worse comes to worse, I probably would be better stockpiling mushrooms and ship mines and scrap physical resources that should have use anywhere. Anyways, let's start the conway. Where is the node? Conway access. Find this first worm. Will allow Fang access into the facility. You need to be brave. Give this all your attention. The worm tunnels in and starts looping data through a node. The conway facility opens up to you. Godspeed, Fang. This was throwing way long enough. As you slot the worm, a thread jumps up out of the facility. It unspools in front of you, releasing its data like ink and water. Sleeper, Fang's voice crackles through, moving in. Nodes, then ports. War of interference. Slot the worms. Timer starts now. Stay safe. The thread dissipates. You're on your own now. Are there more than just the... just this one node? Consec F1. Call me security, I guess. This node is linked to the outer security layer. Fang must be struggling to get through. Okay. Can use a 3, 2, or 1, so I have a 3. F1 port located. Consec port F. The first layer of security. A ring of doors around the central facility. Time to open them up. Yep. Slot a ripworm. The ripworm creates this feedback loop, overloading the security system. Alright. Consec 2 or S1. The inner S security layer is more complex. One access point won't be enough to locate the port. Before the S layer nodes, both S layer nodes need to be extracted before the port will be open. Is there time? This is a 4, 2, or 1. I have a 4. And this is a 5, 3, or 2. I don't have that, so I have to re-roll. I have to use a 4 here. Second layer controls the conway. Drones tasked with patrolling the hairs. Controls the conway drones tasked with patrolling the hairs. Another ripworm. The ripworm fries the drone's network link. Now they can't report anything. And here's the third layer of security. This node is buried deep in the waste. This has to be the final security layer. Hold on, Fang. 6, 5, or 4. Can't do that one yet. How many nodes are on this layer? 3. I've never seen such tight security before. 5, 3, or 2. I can do that. Let's check this one first, though. 6, 4, 1. 3 nodes locate the final port. Then film will be in. Not much time left. Not much time left. This is the first day. I think you said how many days there is, but it's more than one. Oh wait, this one does a 1. And I'll bypass this too. What are we done at the fastest possible rate? This will require a high roll. But I checked this before ending the day. Yeah. Fang's progress. Fang's main terminal shows us how far he's progressed to a facility. The deeper the better. He's 2 of 3. Last node. Conway extraction. A timer on the terminal shows how many cycles you have left to get the data you need. Come on, Fang. 6 cycles. Plenty of time. Go back here because I want to check. I can't remember my long COVID issues remembering stuff. Okay, 2 cycles. Because it will do that scrap thing when it comes in. Here's the Celis ship. And a cycle. There's an aviary. 5 on this. Doesn't matter, I'm complete today. Alright. Hansec X1. This node is buried deep in the waste. This has to be a final secure layer. Hold on, thing. Use it 4. Have anything else to work on? And Hansec Port X. The final layer controls surveillance. This final layer. With this down, Fang should be able to control the facility's cameras. Stop the ripworm. The ripworm chews through camera control. The moment it does, a thread shoots from the facility. A thread from the facility cuts through the cloud like a hairline crack of light. That's it, the final layer of security broken. Somewhere, buried in the dust of the station, Fang is in control. He is slicing into the camera control circuits and pumping out the result. The thread flickers and unravels into an image, a scene, 2 figures in a room. One sat, the other paced. The pacing figure resolves into Hardin. That was the evil asshole from the old guard that used to run the station that somehow wormed his way into Havenage. Like, literally his mannerisms are that of like an old Nazi, referencing like maybe the ones who escaped Argentina after World War II. He is intentionally meant to evoke every evil image possible. The unmistakable superior posture, the shock of gray hair. The second figure's features don't seem to resolve. They are vague, unformed. A problem with the data, perhaps? You look closer. Then you see it. The figure is a proxy. Perhaps you should have expected from Conway, a corporation whose very existence is owed to automation. The proxy is a machine, designed to be piloted by remote connection, someone elsewhere in the system puppeteering it with their own body, speaking so it may speak. The proxy sits impassively, or the comm executive that is piloting them does, from the distant safety of some ship or orbital colony, perhaps. We can move forward, there is no doubt, Hardin is saying. The reclamation teams are almost ready, and after that we'll make the declaration. Declaration? God, I think he's gonna like do martial law or something. Something really evil. Nothing has to change. The proxy leans forward, its movement stilted, uneven, as if the body was being refracted through water. But things must change, Hardin. We need further assurances. I've been informed of a breach in one of the closed networks in the low end. You have been careless. Hardin waves the accusation away. We have been stretched. A breach was detected, yes, but no data of value was lost. Our board is concerned, Hardin. A drop in our value would be unwelcome at this time. Freaking corporations. Capitalism is not good. And the proxy leans back, its posture dominant. If the reclamation of A1, AE? Is that what this is? Alpha Epsilon 1 is contested, then we could be drawn into a compromising legal position. Hardin approaches the proxy. There will be no contest. Not from Solheim. Isn't that the, they made the sleepers, who cannot muster a defense. Not from Havenage, who will fall into line below me. He crouches in front of the seed figure, eye to eye. And the people of the station? Refugees? Gangs? Spacers? All either opportunists or degenerates. Jeez, what an asshole. People just surviving. And he's being... Havenage is no longer strong, no longer united. No one here believes in Erlin's vision, nor has the strength to enact it. I sat across from him at the negotiating table. He was forceful, eager, weakened by his ideological convictions, perhaps, but a great man nonetheless. This place no longer deserves to bear his name. The eye is crippled. It cannot survive. It is a ruin filled with squatters and outlaws. They'll be lucky if it still spins in 100 cycles. Hardin stands. Somehow it has survived, though. A lot more 100 cycles. That was years ago. Solheim was, not Solheim, whatever the big corporation was pushed out. You move forward with reclamation, because otherwise you will lose your advantage in the system. Without your advantage, you will lose claims on the remaining palladium. That's what they were mining before. It really does sound like he's trying to take control of the eye. Using drones to bully and intimidate people. Without the palladium, your factories will go dark. He pauses. Do I need to continue? One moment comes the response in the proxy, and its head drops to its chest. He's probably discussing with his shareholders. Hardin steps back and paces once more, awaiting the discussion taking place elsewhere in the system. You watch Hardin as he paces, as he considers his future. What goes on within a mind like that? In the mind of man who would burn all those around him for a path to some imagined golden end? Oh, he's no idealist. He shouldn't be portraying him like that. He's just selfish. The only golden end he wants is for himself. The proxy lifts its head. We are happy to proceed. We will legally claim the station formerly known as Solheim A1. That's Erlin's eye, I believe, as salvage within 6 cycles. That's the same time, or is that why Feng had such a short time? Let's begin. It's weird I was able to spend as long as I did before I started this chain of events. Havenage is to assist with the transport of the legal residents to Conway housing and labor facilities. So basically, they're going to salvage Erlin's eye, kick everyone out of their homes, force them to basically slave labor camps where there'll be company towns where they'll be worked to the bone and paid almost nothing, not enough to stay out of debt. It's a type of wage slavery. I think slavery has ended. It did not. Corporations still do stuff like this even in our own world, in the third world. It just stopped doing it in the what might be called the core, the imperial core, because there was too much risk. Perhaps they got spooked after the formation of the Soviet Union, perhaps other events, but FDR's New Deal, stuff like FDR might be considered what some might call a class traitor. He was rich, connected, but he tried to help ordinary people. You no longer see the British working class, the American working class work to the bone like this. Instead, it's done out of sight in the third world. Has been. Things are degenerating back towards that in the US again, slowly. But the people behind it, slowly building fascistic power. Or authoritarian, it's not clear. Which is Trump a fascist? Is he just an authoritarian? He shows some signs of being aware of actual fascist theories. But that's giving him too much credit. The proxy judders to its feet. Conway will also claim 70% of the output of the reclamation process, after losses have been accounted for. They're fighting over the metal of the station. Hardin nods. I accept. The proxy reaches out to shake his hand like a marionette, and then the recording loops. You watch it play out a second time, gripped by a horrified fascination. There is a bluntness to the conversation, to its blatant disregard for humans as anything other than objects. Things to be moved, to be used, to be fed to structures, crushed, and losses accounted for in the cells of tables, the margins of ledgers. This is referring to table-like. The visual representation of data table, a table of losses, a table of profits. It's referring to accounting tables, not like something you eat off. You realize now you are no different than anyone else on this station in the eyes of the people in that room, and those like them. Each body here can be recast as a piece of property, a tool, an expense, an acceptable loss. Correct? It's cutting right to the heart of corporate thinking and capitalism. How the ruling class view everyone else. And Hardin is very much part of that in this game. In one moment, they can be named a citizen, celebrated, protected. In another, the very idea of citizenship can be used against them. That is what it means to live in proximity to a system like this. No longer, not while the eye spins. You gather according, pack into a polygon of purest light. Then you drift down into the surface dock like a falling leaf, and find the relay. It only takes a second to place that polygon of data, that recording, into the relay system Fang prepared. Then you watch as it bursts out, a web of threads, heading out into the black, to every network device on the eye. This is the equivalent of, recording a secret conversation inside the U.S. government, something evil on between a corporation and government, because remember, Havenage is literally the government in charge of the station. And then putting out to every cell phone in the country the recording, so no one can ignore what just happened, pretend it didn't exist, doesn't exist, or rely on the media to censor it. Let them see what power makes of a man. It's power plus complete lack of ideals. Erlin himself had power, after all, and he liberated the eye as best he could. Next up, let's see if I can disable my tracker. That'll enable me to upgrade into it or engage. Where do I go next? Where is the waste? Wait for Fang to return. There's mushroom groves, farm stacks, Founder's Ferry, Hypha Labs, the commune. Where's there should be somewhere where it tells how long. So if I'd left the station, jumped on that colony ship, this whole thing would have been salvaged. Scrap. My character may have saved it. Or this may yet fail, just like the lottery, a drive that was impossible to fulfill. The lottery for the slot on the Sidereal Horizon. And the whole bloody thing was rigged. Spores to replant. Might as well grab that. Dock. Fang's Bay. 2 days, 2 cycles. The building is chaotic, most of it in total lockdown. No one give you a straight answer about Fang or Hardin. a sneaking suspicion there won't be any more Havenage after this is over. I'll sell them the Adigan data. Offload it, rather. They won't get a chance to do any good with this. Or evil, rather. They're about to be kicked out of the station, I believe. Cryo. Wow, that's money. That represents access to resources, the ability to bribe people and stuff to try and stay in power. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe intelligence is more useful to them than the money. Maybe not. Either way, this gives me cryo, which, if there was a way, I would gladly use it to weaken them at this point. Keep a little Havenage data. Maybe, in case there's a chance this data won't be good either soon, but there might be a chance to use it against Havenage. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna extract. Extract a little more data from Havenage. Do a little bit of repair work at Bliss's Bay. Keep this business going. Chance to scrap. Yeah, I would have been better off at the tea house playing Tawa, but there would have been a chance of failure at that. I don't know, maybe not. Alright. End to a cycle. Probably nothing will happen this next day, but the day after. Ah, the scrap freighter. If we buy scrap. Got an extra ship mine fragment from that. A day on Fane. Do a little on infiltrating the Celis ship just in case this now turns out to be useful. Unit down shift changes, security keys, camera positions, apostle route starts to merge in your mind. If we infiltrate the ship though, I think it sets things point of no return. So I won't finish that till tomorrow. Knowledge data. Room. Before I can put into the scrap. Oh, that's the Sidereal. Good to know. days left on that. I got some scrap from it. Alright, need to use some scrap or stabilizer. I'll do scrap, because from perspective, I would think you would still occasionally need some stabilizer. If I have to flee, I'd rather have stabilizer and scrap on me. Could also theoretically be used sparingly to stay alive longer. Alright. Where is Infestal? Grab a quick meal. Actually, I'll use some Gorol caps. I just feel like something better meal. Oh, you need two. Alright. Some fungus with Emphas. Here, Fang. Fang grins at you as the bay door slides open. Above, in the rest of the building, people are busy, frightened. They speak in hushed tones, and organized endless meeting after endless meeting. Havenage have avoided a full-blown crisis for now, but change is coming. Fang is in good spirits, and bundles you inside before you even have the chance to greet him. That was the slickest operation this station has seen. He hugs you firmly. You made my job easy. He shakes you by the shoulders. I'm so proud. And he smiles. So if I merged with that Garner protocol that went to stop the station from being physically destroyed, and with it the hardware basis of that software. So if you don't do the Conway thing, the station, everything is doomed. Anyways, and he smiles. I got to watch the cameras as the Havenage security that weren't in on it assaulted the station. One of them straight up just whacked Hardin with their pistol. It was beautiful. They have him, or what are they going to do with him? I'm not sure anyone knows, but he is cooperating in dismantling his operation and scaring off Conway. Maybe they'll exile him when they're done, or hand him over to some core authority. Fang shrugs. Now I know he won't be an issue. I'm going to be focusing on systems for a bit. He shakes his head, seeing as that's my actual job. He points to the ceiling. The people upstairs weren't so happy, though. They've been fielding questions about the state of the eye right and left since the recording got out. People are scared. Is it true? Fang looks at you directly. Not if we don't want it to be. They're gonna resist any attempt to scrap the station with those drones. He touches a stack of hardware. The eye is old, and it was never meant to run like this. The master control points that Erlin and Havenage installed, they keep it spinning from the rim. That isn't ideal. But if you're asking me if the eye will stop spinning next cycle, no. He smiles. And me, and a ton of other skilled people will be working to stop it happening in the cycle after that. Hardin's problem was that he didn't believe in people. He believed in systems, and their ability to shape the world around them. Fang squeezes your shoulder. But as far as I am concerned, people should be the ones running the systems, not the other way around. Indeed. That, you get a little politics I'm sure some of you hate, but that is what socialism is about. It's about people running, instead of corporations running people, people running the corporations. ideally, things like workers' cooperatives and direct workplace democracy, sometimes nationalization, but then support that the government be democratically elected and answerable to the people. Sometimes gets corrupted. You could have commentary. A lot of the criticism here of capitalism could just as well, with a little finagling, apply to the Soviet Union, because people argue they weren't democratic and became a system that tried to shape people rather than the other way around. And they may be right, but it was an attempt at undoing this pattern. And if you don't try something, you'll never succeed. Anyway, Fang raps on the side of his terminal. I know you didn't come down here for a lecture. My tracker? I haven't forgotten. He produces a thumbnail drive. I managed to finish that code solution I showed you. It's a modified ripple worm, one made to deactivate that tracker of yours. But in the time since I got back, I had something extra. That track of yours doesn't just show S and ARP. That's right, S and ARP. Solheim was used to run the station S and ARP, the sleepers, where you are. It transmits data about the state of your body, your current condition. My worm won't just deactivate it. It'll edit that data to tell us in ARP your body is irreparably damaged. DNR, do not retrieve. He grins widely. Pretty smart, right? Thank you. Just saw it already. You take the drive and hold it in your hand. Then you close your eyes and open up your access ports. Take down your defenses. The worm immediately enters your closed network. It whips through it, taking things with as it goes. The moment they're gone, you forget they were ever there. They just blink out of existence. A second later, it's done. You open your eyes. How do you feel? Asked Fang, a little nervously. Free. Fang smiles wildly. Well, you are free, sleeper. He claps you on the shoulder. Fang lets the word free hang there a little before he continues. Seems like it might be finally time for a celebration. Fang wraps his arm around you. Chino still owes us those drinks. He laughs, and you join him. And later, when you leave, you feel deeply thankful for having such a friend. Yeah. Before I was nervous. Didn't always give the most optimistic answers to questions like that. Because of this darn tracker. Now, my character is finally free of it. As you walk away from the building, you look up at the wide curve of the eye, up at the hub, and then the other rim beyond it. The whole thing twinkles with lights, and it seems impossible to see it as anything other than breathtakingly beautiful. It feels, in that moment, like something eternal. That doesn't mean it can, or even should, last forever, or that will never change, fade or decay. It simply means that in this moment, this place has a future, and is one that you know, deeply and truly, is worth protecting. Indeed. Gauge skill. Engaging prompts head on. Some things like some things are engaged skill. I'm trying to remember all of them. I forget if it's engage endure to scrap. Anyways, maybe I should have done there. It doesn't matter that much. There's Flotilla Aid and the Sidereal. Yeah, have the mushrooms. That's what is good for. I believe you wanted Matsutake. Could be Girl Caps. the aviaries, mushroom groves, both of things. As for the wastes, oh no, that was endure. Oh well. What's new here? Just spore collection, and yeah, that was to it. There's another mushroom harvest. Got some matsutake in it. I probably should have taken into it instead of engage. Oh well. Figured engage could be useful in any thinking roles in disparate situations, but I've yet to see somewhere where it affected narrative events. So that was dumb. Oh well. Matsutake roll. Little club head. Not enough. I don't think it's possible to get 3 more upgrade points. We'll start here. Maybe there's still the Celis. Welcome to episode Flux. First of 3 episodic updates, telling the story of the refugee flotilla. Flux, Refuge, and Purge are now available. Completing the supply girls action will be in the episode. Be aware it's intended for light gameplay. It's fine. Ash asks you to bring supplies, and fragrant eye-grown girl caps seem like the perfect thing to impress her. So this girl, not stuck. Erlin sees you coming up the broken spoke and waves you into the cavernous bay of the climbing briar. Helping the refugees. You came. Peak smiles as you walk into the climbing briar's cargo hold, behind a gloomy ash. XXPR spacer. They brought mushrooms. As she tosses the mushroom caps onto a crate, raising her eyebrows at Peak. Peak gives her a look. Thank you, sleeper. They pick one up and sniff at it. Are these edible? Yes. Peak turns the cap over in their fingers before putting it down. We're not so used to fresh produce. As she's securing crates as she speaks and doesn't look up. Hawthorne doesn't have much in the way of farming. Hawthorne? The installation we grew up on. As she wipes her off her hands on a rag. Xbear loves to name their property after natural things, but it's about as far as their relationship with plant life goes. Hawthorne, wait, Nathaniel Hawthorne, I'm guessing? XBR? This interrogation? She glares. Either way, we are done with that place, which is all you need to know. As she leans back against the crate she was securing. We're going to need more than a few mushrooms if we want to help those refugees, though. What do they need? Food, water, components, a whole lot of things. As she stands and walks over the mushrooms you brought, place them in a small container with care. The problem isn't just getting supplies, it's getting them through to the ships. Can you speak to Havenage? We aren't exactly welcome guests, Peak explains. If anyone figures out that we came in with the refugee ships, we'll be quarantined as well. Why is there a quarantine? Peak jumps in. The eye is a closed-loop life support system, just like any orbital installation. Any unfamiliar illness or significantly increased strain on life support could cause a cascading collapse in systems. Ash scoffs. Are we making excuses for these bureaucrats now? Peak turns. We are being realistic, Ash. These people aren't an increased strain. They are living people. Esh stares at you. Even calling them refugees is just a way of turning a lot of scared, desperate people into a single, monolithic group. Indeed. Just think about how people do that in the real world. Esh slides the container full of mushrooms into one of the cargo hold's racks. Look, as much as I like to chat, we've still got a lot of space to fill in this hold. So if you're going to help, I think Esh is trying to say we need your help, and quickly, Peak says, glancing at her. The refugees behind the cordon, they won't be able to hold out indefinitely. We need to get supplies to them in the next 12 cycles, or... Esh steps forward. Or Havenage will have to bear the responsibility for whatever happens next. What can I do? There's 3 things we still need to secure. Water, food, and scrap components for ship repairs. Ooh, all the scrap items stockpiling. Esh gestures to the storage containers around the hold. Water, we can find a way to source, or my preference, just siphon off from the underground reservoirs in the Greenway. Peak raises their eyebrows. Esh. For food, things could be tricky. Those mushrooms are delicious, I'm sure, but no way we can get enough volume to feed a flotilla. However, I see an algae stack on the way over, if we can get access. Excuse me, not more stealing, Esh, Peak sighs. I didn't say steal. She stares at them indignantly. If we can get access, we can work the stack. Simply harvest some algae for the flotilla. Those stacks churn out vast quantities in short time scales. And their repair components? Peak asks tentatively. Just look around you, Peak. This whole place is made of scrap. She shoots you a glance. I'm sure the Sleeper has their sources. They could bring them right here. We get everything before time runs out. Perfect. We get most of it. Also good. Either way, in 12 cycles I'm going to take what we have and go. But how will you get through? Esh shoulders the container. I thought I'd leave that up to you, Peak. They flinch. Are you serious, Esh? I know we said we would help the flotilla, but at what point? They stop, take a breath. Take this seriously, Esh. I don't know the first thing about breaching a quarantine cordon. Maybe not, Esh looks at you. But they might. They slipped out from an SNR facility, didn't they? Plus, they're referring to me, they've been here longer than us. You're always trying to get me to find help. Well, here it is. She gestures at you. Help. Pete glances between the two of you. I swear to... They sigh. I need to think this one through. Meet me at the court in a couple of cycles, Sleeper. Maybe we can figure something out. Meanwhile, Esh meets her eye. You can help me acquire the supplies, discreetly. She smiles. We have to keep this quiet. Keep Havenage out of the loop. Once they get suspicious, this is over for all of us. This all suddenly seems a little too real, too dangerous. You've only just found your feet on the eye. This is not a time for causing trouble. Come find us. We'll be out there trying to pull this all together. Esh goes to the back of the hold to start packing another container. Peak, come help me. Peak glances back at her. Sleeper, look. We didn't choose this either. They lower their voice. Help us finish this. We've set up a base camp on the Broken Spoke. You're welcome to rest there, and any of the cots will work on this. They smile. We're in this together. Peak, Esh shouts, and they walk back into the hold to help with the container. As you leave the climbing briar, you look out at the broken edge of the eyes ring, where Havenage Corin blinks with tiny red lights. What are you getting yourself into? Base camp is somewhere you can sleep, set for repairs, stabilize, or sunbathe. It's just like any other place. Climbing briar, however, scrap, input scrap components. Peak's plan, all the supplies in the world, nothing without plan to get them to the flotilla. That's Peak's part in this, and the briar's hold. The flotilla needs food, water, and components. You might not be able to get all of them, but Esh will take what you can get. Esh is running. The clock is running. In 12 cycles, Esh will make a run to the flotilla. The better prepared she is, the better result will be. Start with the scrap. Maybe it'll well, other things. That's it. These components should be enough to cover most of the basic repairs the flotilla needs. You hope. You look over the pile of scrap components lying in the briar. You look around. The bay is empty. Stop how scrap could do that immediately. Esh and Peak, either elsewhere on the station or on the bridge a couple of levels up. You begin sorting through the pile, separating out useful components and boxing them by use. You don't recognize everything you find, but before long you get into rhythm of sorting. As you do, your mind starts to drift, your attention being drawn into the dark corners of the bay. The briar is in surprisingly good condition, considering that Hawthorne X-Bear must have been operating it for decades by now. The marks of care everywhere, from the delicate patch jobs, polished to meld into original finish, or the carefully bound wiring running through custom trunking. Esh loves this ship. That much is clear. Something catches your eye on one of the dark corners. A matte black stack of crates you hadn't spotted before. They are sleek and compact, tucked away behind some of the bigger, more worn containers. Investigate. You put the components away and go over the sleek crates. You run your hands across their textured surface, but there's a little hint what lies inside an opaque metallic casing. Then you see it. A yellow symbol embossed onto the far side of the crate. A universal sigil used by spacers, corporations, and manufacturers alike. It's one you have seen throughout your time as a sleeper. Its meaning all too familiar. Explosive contents. You hear a hiss, and Eshep comes up through the bay's lock. She barely registers her presence, nodding at you as she passes. Sleeper? She busies herself with some task at the back of the bay. Ask about the crates. Esh doesn't turn around from wherever she is busy with. Just more supplies, Sleeper, like everything else here. You can't think of anything else to ask, but since the atmosphere is now somehow shifted, you quickly finish up the sorting and slip out, waving goodbye to her as you do. To her back as you do. Alright, haven't seen anything about how to get him food or water yet. Maybe another node? The cordon is here. Meeting Peak. Peak asks you to meet them at the cordon. You hope they have a plan to cross, because this place seems imposing. 2 cycles. Meet them. Algae stack, there's an event, and the reservoir. Okay. The algae stack is controlled by a small collective of farmers. If you want to use it, you need to persuade them. Ah, it's engage. I think I upgrade that. Although I'll need better rolls than 1 or 2. Algae access. Much to Esh's frustration, you'll have to pay or talk your way into using the algae stack to farm food for the refugees. I'm fine with paying for it. And here's the reservoir. Have knowledge if installed a complex sensor array to monitor the reservoir. Trip this and the whole place will go into lockdown. Hack sensors or we're safe in water. Water for the flotilla. Esh needs tanks and tanks of water if she hopes to help the flotilla. Anything less is worthless to her. Water for the flotilla or loose condition. Siphoning water. The way for Esh to get enough water together is to siphon it directly from the waters of the reservoirs. Havenage will not be pleased. But if I hack the sensors, the reservoir is marred by a web of sensors. Hacking them will reduce the alert level of the system and keep you from getting locked out. I'm assuming this counteracts when this goes poorly. Alright, more people want to help before I'd dare go on the, Sidereal here, which is only 2 more cycles. Just gonna have to let that go by, I think. Meantime, cycle. I think there'll be many more things that require scrap. Alright. Let's stay before the Sidereal leaves. You know what? Maybe I'll regret this. I'd like to at least complete the infiltration here. Probably give me a choice. These are all terrible rolls. This is a 4. Grin, maybe if you do this right, you might be able to pull something more than just IDs. Alright, this is interface action at +2. Extract Celis data. Got 58 cryo from it. As well, you find the data, but sitting right beside them. Right beside it, there's a cache of cryo. You take both. Too easy. Apologize. Family who seem to think that smashing doors is okay. Castor here. When you arrive at Lem and Mina's unit, Castor is already waiting outside, leaning beside the door. Forgive me, Sleeper, but Celis is already buzzing with news of the breach. I was expecting you. I don't like you tracking me. That is unfortunate, Sleeper, because that is exactly what I'll be doing for the foreseeable future. Castor reaches into a pocket and produces a sleek green and white hand terminal. The data, please. What is that? I don't trust him, and I more want information than anything else. Something I acquired from Celis while you're busy on that ship. Castor pushes up his glasses. I haven't been waiting for you the entire time. You hand over a drive with the data, and Castor fishes around for a converter cable to hook it up. It slots into the terminal after some worrying instead of 2 transparent films, marked with numeric sequences, are produced. Hope this gives me a choice. Maybe I lock myself in. 2 tickets to an uncertain future. Castor smiles to himself. The child will go with Lem, of course. He pockets them. These are yours, but first he holds out a white cube. Your side of the deal. What is it? Something to help us make use of you. He passes you a square and you rest in your palm, a small white, perfect cube. Suddenly you feel a sharp pain and flinch. The cube jumps from your hand and rattles away along the walkway. You look at Castor apologetically. Castor smiles. Not to worry. It's done its job. As for you to do yours, you look down and see a tiny pinprick in the center of your palm. Nothing sinister. Castor puts the terminal away. This way we can keep track of you at the Sidereal Horizon. I didn't agree to this. You did, Sleeper. Castor adjusts his glasses. You have to understand that I could have done this without you knowing. This way, everything is on the table, so to speak. Castor hands you the transparent films, and you see shimmering portraits of you and Lem flickering beneath the surface. Go, give them the good news, and he reaches across and buzzes the unit. Lem slides open the door, half dressed in his gear. Sleeper, what brings you here? Come in. I'm gonna tell him I don't trust this. He beckons you inside. You look at the side, expecting to see Castor, but the wall is empty. You look to the side. The unit is cleaner, better organized than last time. Lem sits at the thin bar and gestures for you to sit. Mina's with some of the local kids. Some has started doing their lessons down the way. She seems to like it. Sit. You sit at the bar. What's up, Sleeper? I have some news. Out with it then. Lem laughs. Rethink things. You look around the unit. You look at Len. He looks better, softer, more full of life. It's as if a weight has been lifted from his shoulders. You think of Mina a few units down, learning with other children. You falter. Is the Sidereal Horizon better than this? No, it's not. Lem starts to look a little nervous. You in trouble? Debt? I'm pretty sure this is the point of no return. Nothing. Forget it. You sure are acting funny. Lem squints at you. Are you sure nothing is up? think he can be talked out if I tell him I have the IDs. I really don't think he can be talked out of it. But if I don't tell him... This doesn't seem right either. Let's see if I can... I have Celis IDs for us. You have. Lem freezes how he blinks rapidly as if to wipe you from his vision. Does that mean... Yep. Lem stands up and paces around you. We have to pack. He starts laughing. Holy shit, we have to pack. He turns back to you smiling. How the hell would you swing this, sleeper? I made a deal. What a deal. Call me impressed. You show him the ID films. He whistles the portraits. Impressive stuff. He pats you on the shoulder. You should stay until Mina gets home. We can tour together. Sure. Buzzer goes. That'll be her. Lem gets up and opens the door. Mina, a bundle of energy and life, rushes into the room. Robot, she shouts. Lem picks her up. Mina, you won't believe what they brought us. You flash her the passes, and she looks confused. We're going away after all, Meanie. He lifts her up above her head. He lifts her up above her head. On that big, beautiful ship. Mina screams and Lem laughs. He puts Mina down and she runs over to you and hugs your legs. I love you, Robot, she says quietly. Solely you can hear. Love you too. And a while later, when you leave, you don't even think to check for past or by door until it's too late. You stop and turn halfway down the walkway, but there's nothing there. Even that little white cube is gone. So you keep walking, back through the wind, deep in thought, excited and scared all at once. Except... How do I tell him? No way, I don't think this is a good idea. I may have walked in. Maybe I should have said no to that. Zero leaves next cycle. I'll find out if there's a chance to talk him out of it. But I didn't feel right not letting him have the news. He should be able to decide for himself. I hate that that probably railroads you into no way to even try and talk him out of it. I really don't think the sterile is better than... He does deserve to have the choice. Oh. It's the water. It's more important than food. Sipping some water. Water for the flotilla. Algae stack. Even if this fails, I think I may be able to pay. You and Ash roll up your sleeves and help with tank signaling. As you do, you speak to farmers about the refugees. Putting a 1 into this seems really like a bad idea. So. Grab some grove spores if I can. 5 clumps of spores in passage drip with moisture. You gather them quickly. Will identify their source. Go back here. End the cycle. Lem and Mina. As you leave, you find a note pinned on the outside the door. It reads, Sleeper, there's something you need to see. Meet me at the corner as soon as you can. Just keep heading around the ring until you hit the flotilla. I'll be waiting. Peek. You pocket the note and glance around the corridor. Looks like you're doing this. Time to make a plan. it's also a decision point. At least it didn't instantly end things. Wait. Quick meal. You're starving. Before it goes. Sleeper peeks catches your attention from the shadowy corner they were leaning against. Any trouble getting up here? I mean, this place is huge. It certainly is. Havenage have been busy. Come, take a look at this. They beckon you over to a nearby window, which looks across the ruined ring to the blinking red lights of the Havenage Corn. The Corn's temporary structures, a net of metal struts meant to detect and dissuade ships from entering or leaving the flotilla, juts out into the black. And all around, the tugs flit, securing them in place and tend to the red blinking drones that demark the quarantine. It's an impressive and worrying sight. What do you think? Peak interrupts your thoughts. How would you get through? Use one of the tugs. As an escort, you mean? I doubt we could fit all the supplies on one of those tugs, but if it seemed like the Briar was being officially escorted through the cordon, Peak squints at the red lights. But then we'd be stuck inside. Peak turns away from the window and rubs her forehead. Esh has really wrapped us up in something here, hasn't she? The question is spoken under their breath, and they don't seem to expect an answer. The silence grows. Maybe try all three. There's multiple options. Are there other options? If you got them, I'm happy to hear them. Peak smiles. The way I see it, there are three parts to make it through that corn. They gesture out the window at the strange structure. Deception, distraction, and speed. We'll need all of them for a clean passage through. Deception means tricking the corn security into thinking we were meant to be there. Maybe a tug escort would work. Anything that makes the Briar look official. Distraction, meanwhile, will be all about diverting attention so that no one looks too hard at what the Briar is doing. If we can create a gap in the corn's scanning and deterrent systems, that should keep them busy. Finally, speed will mean making sure the Briar is ready to roll. Perhaps we can do a little work on the ship to get her ready. Ash surely won't mind. They lean back from the window. How does that sound? Risky? Well, they smile. Yes, there's always going to be a risk. That's how this works. We've got to be on board with that. Pete looks down at their slate. 10 cycles left. They glance out the window at the core nervously. 10 cycles to gather supplies and prep this plan. It's very tight. Very tight. I mean, it's tight. Very tight. Pete looks at you. If this goes wrong, Pete sighs. Just get out, okay? They squeeze your shoulder. I'll follow Esh anywhere. But you don't need to get dragged down with us. It won't come to that. Pete brains up a little, of course, but just keep it in mind. Let's get to it. Peak stretches. I'll tell Esh about the improvements to the Briar and the rest. Let's explore the corner as best we can and look for openings. I have no idea what guardian angel sent you us, Sleeper. Peak smiles, but I'm very glad they did. And this is one more reason. That I do not want doing the network to be leaving. These people need help. Blending with the crew, one thing about being a sleeper is people always assume you're working. So blending in with the tug crews shouldn't be too tough. Let's engage action. Guess good idea to level that. And interface, intercept comms. The corn buzzes through radio transmissions and data packets. Intercepting them will help give you a sense of how things run here. For an intel, you and Pete need to get a sense of how the Havenage operation works before you can prepare your pan to slip through it. Comms is higher yield, higher risk. Stack the reservoir. So nobody can do this in one day. I think I have to head up here. Talk to Lem and Mina. There is a crowd, but you spot Lem and Mina immediately as you enter the dock. They're waiting at the quarter where Celis security are checking the crew in to board the ship. Those that manage to get up to the hub are crowded near the entrance, but even they know their chance to get on board has long gone. Lem spots you among the crowd. Sleeper, we are here. They are staying beside a bag which looks to carry all the possessions they have. It's small enough to be carried in one hand. Hi, Mina. Mina is vibrating with excitement. She seems strange at home in microgravity. But then you remember that she has spent her whole life in space. Hi, robot. You hand over the Celis ID film to Lem, keeping your own. He turns it back and forth in the light. Where did your friend even get this picture, Sleeper? It looks like my old Conway ID. You look, and a shimmering younger Lem stares out of the film, harder and clean-cut. I spoke to the guard here. He nods to the white and green-clad security officer. They'll be doing orientation role assignment on board. Sounds like we're going to be working under the core crew, kind of like an intern. He laughs. What do you think, Meanie? Am I told to be an intern? Following Lem's lead, you inspect your ID. As you lift the film up to the light, you see something strange. Something that makes you flinch. The face printed in the film is one you recognize immediately. It is not you. At least it is not how you look now. You squint at this ghost, confused why you hadn't noticed earlier. It is a picture you remember being taken, a memory that you didn't know you had. You remember signing the forms to walk to the sleeper tanks, the cold metal floor. You remember the SNARP employee who helped you in, her smile clean and surgical. How the hell did Castor get this? You freeze in place, thinking of the you that sleeps somewhere in an SNARP facility that won't wake until you are recovered and disposed of. And now you are leaving? Will they ever wake up? Sleeper, Lem interrupts your thoughts. These guys want us to board. You stare at him without thinking, then notice the guard gesturing to you both to come forward. You all kick off and float over to them, staying yourself on the guardrail. You hang back, letting Lem present his ID film first. The guard slides it across a white machine, much like the one Castor printed them from. You reflexively rub the puncture mark on your hand, even though there's no trace of it now. Seems to be your destiny to be someone else's tool. Lem and Mina are waved through, the guard smiling at her excited face. Lem turns back to you to check if you're coming. The guard beckons you closer. Wait. You wait for a moment. You need to wait for a moment. This is all happening too fast. Changing too much. There's so many questions you have. So many threads to catch hold of. And yet here you are, boarding a ship to who knows where on a journey that will take decades. Reconsider. Is this really what you want? How will you even survive? You suddenly feel dizzy, unsettled. You can make out the concerned look on Lem's face as you hold back. The guard gestures again. Mina's eyes looking at you are so bright in the starlight. Stay on the eye. I don't think this is the point of no return for sure. You can't do it. You can't get on that ship. You turn away quickly. Try not to look at Lem, to look at Mina. To meet their eyes. You turn away and kick off hard from the guardrail. When you reach the far wall, you turn back. The scene continues in front of you as if nothing has changed. The next set of people are boarding. The crowds are still gathered at the cordon. The Sidereal Horizon still blinks, its sail hull bright against the stars. And there are Lem and Mina, gliding up toward the docking bridge, bag in hand. Lem is facing away, focused on the stay climb, but Mina is in his arms and is facing back towards you. You watch her face, confused, sullen, but twinkling with a growing excitement as Lem carries her forward. As you watch Mina, you think about your future, about the future you might choose. You know one thing for certain, that future is on the eye. You no longer have any enthusiasm for being carried forward by the dreams of others. For futures then fold like angelic wings across the horizon. The future is being made now on this spinning ring among its people and its systems. You're sure of that. But as you watch Mina disappear into the entrance of the Sidereal Horizon, and much later when you watch the ship pull away, you feel a sense of longing. A longing to be carried, not by the systems that spin the suns, or the corporations that run the colonies, but by love toward an uncertain future, just as Mina was. Then you think, that you think is the future you wish to make here on Erlin's Eye. Left behind, let them go. Huh. If I do another playthrough of this, maybe I'll not give them the ideas. I'm not sure. I think their future may be worse on the colony ship than my character's, but definitely my character is dependent on stabilizer, which you can grow here but get nowhere else. Though in-game you can do it with scrap, though how you keep getting scrap components on a closed colony ship. Like there's even a way to get on this eye. I really don't trust that corporation. I would have liked maybe a... yeah. I don't know. Like I said, railroading. What I wanted to do was to give them the passes, but then tell them that they shouldn't go. Maybe they would have stayed. Anyways. Story is not over. There's still the refugees to help. Simple and the Celis thing expired would have probably... Apparently I could just not give them the IDs after. That probably would have been the best outcome if I wanted to stay. Probably, no knowing for sure. A strange choice. Castor stands beside you at the rail, watching the pinpricks of light from the Sidereal Horizon strives to disappear. At least I got some info. That portrait tells me something. But perhaps not expected. You turn to look and Castor's beam at you with an unsettling warmth. Aren't you angry? About what? He squeezes your shoulder. I only wish for you to exercise that strong drive of yours. If it happens to line with my own, then that is pleasing to me. But if it does not, I cannot punish you. What about the Sidereal? Castor looks out to the stars. I will do my best to follow its progress. He pauses. Celis itself is of more concern. Celis has taken a step back from the public eye. It seems some internal struggles are playing out within their pristine halls. Castor sighs. But I doubt core politics are much concern you. Oh, no, I disagree. Especially now with Lem and Mina on that ship. Castor moves down along the rail. The eye, though, that seems to be your primary concern. Am I right? Excuse me. I have unfinished business. He pats you on the back. Helping the refugees. Don't we all? It's the nature of life to leave things unfinished. I have more projects than I can count. So many games still to play and things to learn. May your future cycles be as fruitful as my own. Castor turns and starts to clunk away in his mag boots. I would be keeping an eye on you, if you don't mind, sleeper. He waves as he walks. My curiosity remains piqued. Once he leaves, you stay a little longer at the rail, watching the stars. Imagine the look on Mina's face when she sees Celis 1 for the first time. Imagine excitement when she first touches the soil. Joy when she first stands outside in the rain, laughing. Those images, though they will not happen for decades, are what will carry you through this cycle, and perhaps the next one too. I hope they do well. I really do. It's a bit of a tearjerker. As much as I don't like the railroading, it's still a bit of a tearjerker. algae, water. Pair talk. Oh, I'm doing the talking now. I hope. These farmers care. Accelerate growth. Algae in stacks grows at a regular rate, but with some careful feed adjustments and water cycling, you can improve your yield per cycle algae growth. Algae takes time to grow in each cycle. More can be harvested from a stack. Patience is required. Harvest algae. There's no more algae in the stack. For this cycle, you have to wait for more to grow. Food for the flotilla. Flotilla needs a lot of food to last out the quarantine, and Ash will sell for nothing less than a full hold's worth. Yeah, this is going to have to be sped up. It would take 8 cycles, which I'm not even sure there are 8 cycles, for even 1 bit to grow. And then there's this. I think the water is simple enough. The algae might be the time limit thing here. It's dangerous to accelerate the growth, though. Oh, wait, I have a 6. Put that in, for sure. You managed to perfect a phosphorus-rich feed cocktail that massively boosts the algae's growth rate. The other farmers are impressed. Oh wait, no. Food for flotillas, you need 8 units of it. It's only 3 cycles for it to grow. Still. Water. Sensors to lower stuff. No. For now, just siphon. Find out what valve behind a web of sensors. Delicately, you begin filling a tank. Ash gives you a thumbs up. This is working. A 3, which becomes a 5. Slightly dangerous. Might set off alert. On a bad roll, I think. But then I just hack the sensors. Cool. This is my unfinished business. Rolls to make this work. Do a stabilizer. Hope I stop helping stuff with this. This is clearly the hardest thing my character has done. It's also the last thing. And this video has been going for a while, so I should probably cut it soon. So finish a little bit, do a little bit more algae growth. And now it can be harvested. It's an endure task. 4 is probably okay, but every roll I might get a 5. Yep, and a 6. Harvest algae. Now you can freely harvest algae. You work carefully, attentively, and manage to maximize the yield of the stack with low and no wastage. Now you can freely harvest edible algae to the ship. For the refugee flotilla, even estimates as a pleasant earthy taste. Cool. Harvest 4. Draining, drying, and packing algae is delicate and tiring work, but you managed to get a good yield. There's no more. available. Has to grow. Roll into the water. It's a 5 at least. You tap one of the pipes, but as you see the flashing warning light of a sensor, you hope no one notices. Esh grimaces. Right. Tomorrow, though, I'm gonna have the aviary thing. Alright. End the cycle. I think that auto-saves it. I know whatever else I'm gonna need to get a meal from the character. Go do that for Memphis. See if Castor talks to me while I'm here. This video's been going on for a while though. I hinted I'm about to cut it. And I am. So I don't know what exactly with this, or if I should harvest at the aviary right now, or just already still got a bit of stabilizer and scrap. But I'm gonna cut things, cut this video. Wish you all the best. Take care of each other. There we go, save. Be kind to yourselves. May you always find a guiding star to lead you home. Until next video, this is Northstar, signing off. Adieu.